Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Kapinder from Kirodimal College, University of Delhi. Today we are going to talk on module pollution from paper ecology. After studying this module, you shall be able to list the major pollutants and their sources, understand various human activities resulting in pollution and deterioration of environment. Know the causes of air, water and land pollution and also explains with examples. Describes the causes, consequences of noise pollution and discuss the control of pollution. Pollution is the undesirable change in the physical, chemical or biological characteristic of air, land and water that will adversely affect human life or that of desirable species directly or indirectly. There are a number of causes which includes agriculture, anthropogenic, biogenic and industrial. According to Southwick in 1976, the problem of pollution arises because of human population explosion. The higher population leads to utilization of excessive energy, produces more waste, more sewage and exploited natural resources. The pollution directly or indirectly affect human health by deteriorating the life supporting system of our biosphere. A substance or chemicals which causes the pollution is called as pollutants. The pollutants can be divided into two types. First type is biodegradable pollutants. These are those pollutants which can be easily broken down into simpler elements or forms by various microbes and other decomposing organisms. For example, organic waste, animal and human waste, agriculture waste, etc. Second type of pollutant is non-biodegradable pollutant. These are those pollutants which cannot be broken down into simpler forms. For example, heavy metals like lead and mercury. In addition to that, pesticide is also a non-biodegradable pollutant. In this module, we will discuss how human activities responsible for the degradation of environment by creating pollution such as air, water and soil. In addition, the higher intensity of noise and radiation is also detrimental to human life and called as noise pollution and radiation pollution respectively. Air pollution. Air pollution can be defined as the presence of undesirable chemicals in the atmosphere at higher concentration which is harmful to the organisms, materials and to alter climate. The sources of air pollutants can be from both natural and human generated. Natural source consist of dust, forest fires, volcanic eruption, etc. Air pollution generated from human activities is not new, but it starts since the discovery of fire. But the situation became much more alarming when the humans started extracting the burning coal. Most outdoor pollutants released in the atmosphere from the burning of fossil fuels in the industries and vehicles. The air pollutants can be classified into two categories. First is primary pollutants. These pollutants which are released into the environment as a result of natural or human activity. For example, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide or oxides of nitrogen, etc. Second type of pollutant is known as secondary pollutant. These are those pollutants which are formed when some primary pollutants react with one another or with the basic components of air. For example, ozone, peroxyacyl nitrate, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. This table represents various pollutants which are present in the atmosphere. Now you can see there are a number of pollutants which are divided into various types. First is the primary pollutants, which consist of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, etc. Secondary pollutants that consist of PAN and ozone. So there are some pollutants which are released from the industries, which includes chlorofluorocarbon, acid, aldehyde and chloride. In addition to that, there are natural processes which also released various pollutants, and these pollutants include carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, methane, hydrogen sulfide, etc. In addition to these pollutants, there are some dust particles which are also present in the pollutants, which is also present in the atmosphere. So these are known as the particulates, and example of these particulates are smoke, dust, lead particles, etc. According to the World Health Organization, 24% of global diseases and 23% of all deaths are caused by environmental exposure. In addition, 1 of every 6 individuals on the earth lives in an urban area where the air is unhealthy to breathe. Most of these individuals live in highly polluted cities in developing countries where air pollution control law do not exist or are poorly enforced. The major causes of air pollution include the following human activities. The first is motor transport. Transport vehicles including trucks, buses, cars, two-wheelers and three-wheelers contributes nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon emission. Second is fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are used for cooking, transport, power generation and many other purposes, which produces carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and a variety of hydrocarbons. Burning of coal also produces sulfur dioxide and ash. About 60% of sulfur dioxide released due to burning of coal. Third is modern agriculture. Agricultural activities like burning of forest for agriculture produces carbon dioxide, and 40% of methane is produced from rice field, gut of livestock due to breakdown of organic matter by anaerobic bacteria. Fourth is industry. Industrial activities like smelting of metal ores produces large quantity of sulfur dioxide. Chemical plants produces number of hazardous chemicals including chlorofluorocarbons. Acid rain. It refers to several ways in which acids from the atmosphere reaches to surface of earth. Various gases like nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide are generated from the burning of coal and petroleum. These gases are highly reactive in the air, which oxidized into acids like sulfuric acid and nitric acid. These gases dissolved in the water very easily and it's washed down to earth's surface as acid rain. The pH of acid rain is less than 5.6, can goes down as 4 or below. Acid rain can damages building materials, for example, Taj Mahal, furnishing fabrics, terrestrial and aquatic vegetation. Fishes cannot tolerate pH less than 5. Low pH of acid rain also damages soil minerals. Acid rain includes dry and wet deposition. Dry deposition refers to settle down of wind-blown acidic gases and atmospheric particles on the Earth's surface. However, wet deposition refers to the acidic water received from the rain, fog and snow. About half of the activity in the atmosphere is transferred on Earth through dry deposition. The air pollutants are generally linked with respiratory diseases as mentioned below. Sulfur dioxide is mainly responsible for lung diseases. It includes shortness of breath, bronchospasm, edema, asthma, emphysema, pulmonary fibrosis, etc. Oxides of nitrogen causes irritation in eye and lungs, gum inflammation, internal bleeding, and also cancer. High concentration of carbon monoxide may cause asphyxiation, heart and brain damage. Ozone and peroxyacyl nitrate causes irritation of eye, headache, weakness the lung tissues. Fumes of toxic metals like lead damages brain of child and it causes death. In adults, it affects kidney and liver. Chronic exposure to mercury vapor causes lesions of the mouth and skin, as well as it also causes neurological problems. Dust of coal, asbestos, etc. causes respiratory problems. Hydrocarbons like chlorinated hydrocarbons, benzyl pyrene and many other compounds causes cancer. The particulate matter depends upon its nature and size causes irritation reaction. Water pollution. Water is one of the most important component of living organisms. It is for agriculture, industries, household and various other purposes. The used water when released into the environment consists of many undesirable toxic and innocuous matter and many diseases causing microbes which adversely affect environment and health. The pollution in the river, lakes, estuaries is continuously increasing all over the world and becoming nightmare to human beings. The water pollutants can be distinguished into two types. First is point source. It involves the release of undesired substances into water bodies from a specific site such as sewage, oil wells, power plants, factories, and coal mines. Second type is non-point source. It involves the inflow of pollutants into water bodies in a different manner over a large area such as various agricultural lands, water drainage from roads, streets, etc., farm animals, and many more. These sources are diffused and are poorly defined. Causes of water pollution. Most of the human activities are the prime cause of water pollution. Rapid increase in population, intensive agriculture, growing industrialization, and urbanization has resulted in deterioration of water in the natural reservoirs. Water pollution can occur on any one or more of the following agents. First is biological. The growth of various living microbes such as bacteria, virus, protozoa, and helminthes. Second is chemical, and this chemical it includes inorganic agents, various inorganic chemicals such as nitrates, phosphates, chloride, and fluorides, etc. Another is organic agents, and these organic agents includes pesticides, dyes, chlorocompounds, phenols, etc. Third is heavy metals. It is the presence of heavy metals ion such as mercury, lead, arsenic, zinc, cadmium, copper, etc. Another agent is physical, and it is the waste heat that is released from the thermal plants. Sources of water pollution. The pollution caused by various human activities can broadly grouped into four categories. First is domestic effluents. The waste produced in kitchen, bathroom and toilets are discharged directly or through canal into the river, pond or other water body. Second is industrial effluents. It is the discharge of industrial effluent into river which consists of heavy metals like mercury, cadmium, lead, arsenic, etc. The Rhine River in Europe is one of the best example in which large amount of heavy metals that are released into the river. Third is surface runoff. It occurs from the cultivated lands where inorganic fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides are used, and the example is DDT, malathion, carbaryl and large number of other pesticides. Fourth is waste heat. The waste heat in the form of hot water is discharged into the river or other water body. For example, nuclear power station in Kota, it released large amount of hot water directly into the river. Consequences of water pollution. First, effect on aquatic organisms. Pollutants such as heavy metals, insecticides and other harmful chemicals directly affect aquatic organisms, whereas non-toxic organic materials eliminate some aquatic species indirectly by reducing the dissolved oxygen of water. Trout and bass are sensitive, which eliminated first when oxygen level is low. Hot water released from the power plants causes ecological imbalance by death of stenothermal species. Warm water can causes premature reproduction in some species, but the offsprings are not able to survive. Effects on health. Polluted water deteriorates the water quality and causes various waterborne diseases like cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and various other infections. Mercury poisoning causes Minamata disease. It causes number of limbs, deafness, and mental retardation. एक ये नहीं बर रिपीट टेबल बोलना है हाँ एक्चुअली नंबर दिखाई दिया नंबरनेस था वो Trout and bass are sensitive, which eliminated first when oxygen level is low. Hot water released from the power plants causes ecological imbalance by death of stenothermal species. Warm water can causes premature reproduction in some species, but the offsprings are not able to survive. Effects on health. Polluted water deteriorates the water quality and causes various waterborne diseases like cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and various other infections. Mercury poisoning causes Minamata disease. It causes number of limbs, deafness, and mental retardation. Cadmium pollution causes Itai disease. It causes pain in bone, cancer of liver and lungs. Excess of nitrate in water causes methanoglobinemia. It is a non-functional oxidized form of hemoglobin. Fluoride causes mottled teeth, stiffening of joints and hardness bone, called skeletal fluorosis or knock-knee disease. Chlorination of water produces chlorinated organic compounds which can be carcinogenic or teratogenic. Pesticides such as DDT, eldrin, and dieldrin causes cancer, teratogeny, tremors, etc. Land pollution. Land pollution occurs due to dumping of solid wastes that is generated in the household and manufacturing units. Domestic wastes include kitchen garbage, waste tin cans, plastic bottles, cloth rags, waste papers, straw board boxes, ash, etc. However, industrial wastes are fly ash, lime sludge, brine mud, metal scraps, copper slag from large industries, dye, plastics and lot of other wastes from small scale industries. The amount of garbage generated is proportional to affluence in the society. For example, solid waste generated in affluent area in Delhi is around 800 to 1000 gallon per day. Industries in India also generate wastes in large quantities. For example, the amount of slag generated by the blast furnace is about 35 million tons per year, and fly ash produced from coal-based power station is 80 million tons per year. The fertility of soil also decreases due to acids and alkali, insecticides, fumigants, and herbicides. Noise pollution. Noise pollution is the production of excessively high level of sound which may cause loss of hearing. The main source of noise pollution originated from human activities. You can see in the figure 11, 12 and 13. The major sources of pollution are: first is transport, which includes road traffic, railways and aircraft. Second source is industries having generators, pile drivers, pneumatic drills, road roller, etc. Third source of pollution is special events include loudspeakers, music performance, marriage party, religious festival, etc. The human ear is sensitive to sound of frequency in the range of 20 to 2000 Hz. Loudness is measured in decibel scale. It is not linear but a logarithmic scale. For example, a change from 40 decibel to 80 decibel represents a 10,000-fold increase in the loud. Now in the figure you can see various type of noise pollution. In part A, you can see number of vehicles which are running on the road which produces a very loud sound, and in another part B you can see the loudspeaker which is used in various festivals or religious performance in which the loudness is very high. The noise has following adverse effects. Noise produces temper tantrum, irritation, anxiety, fatigue, and even nausea. Prolonged exposure causes sleeplessness, headache, increased blood pressure, etc. It also causes decreased sensitivity to hearing, finally leading to deafness. It causes thousands of deaths per year by increasing high risk of coronary heart disease. Underwater, noise pollution by ships disturb whales navigation and kills various other species. The excessive noise makes wild species to communicate louder, which can decrease their lifespan. Gravity settling chamber, centrifugal collectors like cyclone collector, and dynamic precipitators, wet scrubbers, electrostatic precipitators, and fabric filters that removes smaller and large particulate matter, pollutant gases from emission gases. Sewage treatment plants can be used for the purification of water. The Water Act 1974 and Air Act in 1981 are being implemented through the central board and state boards. The noise pollution can be reduced by decreasing the sources that produces sound. Indian government notify the noise regulation rules under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. The rule regulate the noise level in industry, commercial and residence, and also establish zone of silence that is about 100 meter near school, hospitals, courts, etc. So students, let us know let us now summarize what we have learned in this module. Pollution is an undesirable change in the air, land and water that will adversely affect human life or other species. Pollution can be categorized as air, water, land and noise pollution. Air pollution is the presence of undesirable chemicals in the atmosphere which is harmful to the all living organisms, which also include human beings. Water, when released into the environment after industrial or domestic use, it consists of many undesired toxics and innocuous matter and many disease-causing microbes which adversely affect environment and health. Land pollution occurs due to dumping of solid wastes that is generated in the household and various manufacturing units. Noise pollution, it occurs due to excessively high level of sounds produced throughout various means. The main source of noise pollution is originated from human activities. All these pollutions are dangerous to human beings. It not only decreases the human lifespan, but it also adversely affects physiology and behavior of the human beings as well as all other living system which is present on the earth. Control of this pollution is economically beneficial. Pollution can be controlled by appropriate technology and effective legislation.